Hello friends, we are here with, sorry if I'm looking away, oh god, my music isn't starting. We're here with week 8 of NPL Majors. We are up against our good pal Mr. Murkrow. We've played him a couple times. We've played him in tours a few times, and I don't count tours, but I think we're like 1-1 in tours or something like that. We played last season in the NPL when I had Seb's team, and we had to remake a game because his Sharpedo didn't have speed boost, and then he ended up winning because of it, because my team didn't have a lot for Sharpedo, and I didn't feel right taking the win from him that way. So here we are, my own team, not a team I like, but my own team. He has something very similar to his GPC season where he won, where it's like fat with Mega Venusaur and then a couple offensive threats, and it's been doing okay for him. I forget what he is. I think he's 4-3 plus 4, which I'm totally not cheating and looking at my own overlay. But anyway, lots of threats, a lot of fat, a lot of offense, like Lele and Kartana and Aerodactyl are all very scary. Frogadier can become a problem. It's a very much Weavile Sneasel situation where like you don't know if the baby form is going to be Sash or Scarf to sort of be a pseudo version of the big one, but whatever, I'm rambling. Let's go into the team. We have Power Punch Kang with Sub, Secret Power Drain Punch. Secret Power is for Helmet Mons and for mainly Helmet Zapdos, which I am expecting. Sub to dodge sort of Toxics from Aloe and Zapdos and other stuff. There's some variations of Venusaur I think that I could live, like I think I live Giga Drains or something behind a Sub. Secret Power just for general stuff and for potentially paralyzing things like Lele and Aerodactyl. If Psychic Terrain is up, Secret Power lowers speed, which is just objectively a worse paralyze, so that's kind of annoying, but whatever. Power Up Punch for Power Up Punch and Drain Punch to heal back things versus stuff like Kartana, Aerodactyl, and Almamola. Cool. Moving on. Max Speed, because Max Speed, I forget what I need to outspeed. I think I'm creeping Lele. I'm creeping Lele and Speed Tanks. I don't know why I'm max. Let me bring this up a bit to sort of see. Oh, I'm Speed Tying Zapdos. That's what it was. Sorry. I had this game a bit ago. So, pairing with that, I wanted Hazards. I wanted Hazards real bad. And I figured that Zapdos would either be Defensive Defog, maybe Scarf, or maybe a Sub-Toxic set. And if he's Sub-Toxic, his Defogger's Kartana or nothing. Or then Arrow. I figured my team could pressure him enough so that he couldn't defog as long as I played it right. And here we have Red Card Skarmory, Dual Hazards, Brave Bird, Iron Head, Max Speed to sort of not be, for whatever reason. I think it's just to get last minute hits off on stuff like Aloe and Defensive Venusaur and Zapdos and things like that. Red Card to bounce things away. Brave Bird for Venusaur and Iron Head for Lele, I believe. Maybe something else. Nothing special, just get up hazards. After that, that was a really loud transition of my music. We're going to drop that a bit. Cool. Alright, up next is Spexprim, because Spexprim is a monster. He doesn't have a great resist. His water resist is Aloe and Venusaur, and Specs Psychic kind of murders both of those. He also has an Umbreon which he could bring, but if he wants to set up Psychic Terrain for me to then click Specs Psychic against his Venusaur switch-in, then I'm all for it. Even Lele under Psychic Terrain is potentially 2-hit KO'd after Rocks, and definitely after Rocks plus Spikes, so that's pretty awesome. Up next is Shookaberry Sub SD Terrakion. I'm expecting the Aloe to pack something to break my subs, but, you know, maybe it doesn't. It's hopeful. Just general wall breaking stuff. Creeping Lele. Greninja is timid with a ton of speed. I believe it's to creep Kartana. It creeps just Kartana. Because I'm expecting defensive Zapdos 100%, and Kartana's his fastest mon. Aside from like Arrow and things like that. I debated creeping Arrow or creeping some sort of Scarfer, but I was like, nah, I don't need to. Dougie and Arrow, I'm clicking Water Shuriken against anyway, so I don't need to outspeed any versions of those. Spikes, Taunt, Dark Pulse Shuriken, you know, my standard. And then last but certainly not least is this Cresselia, that if you watch Mr. Murkrow videos, you'll know that he's brought this and 6-0'd. He's brought Crow Cresselia when he had a Cress, and he 6-0'd somebody with it. And my good friend Dilwar, who does YouTube now, so I'll link his stuff down below. He helps me on all my stuff. He gives me mocks when I need it. And so he was like, you know, if he just doesn't crit, Umbreon is a really shit matchup because you have a Kangaskhan, a Terrakion, a Primarina, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if he just doesn't bring Umbreon, a Restalk Psychic Cresselia walls his whole team, and there's nothing he can do about it. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. He would need like SD knockoff Kartana or something to really do anything, or like a Combine Shadow Ball set. But I'm a fast Cress, a ton of speed. I'm creeping something that's creeping Adamant Owl, I think. So that's kind of cool. Or Timid Prim, one or the other. But that's the team. Cress, Skarmory, and Kangaskhan are all named after people who gave me mocks. The other three are named after stuff it's always named after. So, without further ado, we're going to hide that, and hide this, and we are here in the battle. He didn't bring Venusaur, and I thought that was really weird. That was kind of surprising. I was really relieved to see no Umbreon. So, no Venusaur means that Primarina kind of goes in on his team. He doesn't have a switch in period to a Moonblast, and I think that's really amusing. Zapdos looks kind of defensive. Arrow's probably offensive. Aloe's probably Helmet. Baby Gren is probably some sort of Spikes lead or something, maybe Life Orb. Kartana could be Scarf or it could be SD, and Lele is likely some sort of Taunt variant, because otherwise he loses to Cresselia. So I'm expecting Taunt combined, but it could be anything. Could be sub-Taunt Toxic. So I'm going to lead Skarm because I want hazards up. He's going to Taunt as I Rocks. He's going to Rocks himself as I Iron Head and do a ton to that thing. I forgot that wasn't a Mega Arrow. I'm dumb. But in comes the Greninja as I Iron Head, and it does 25%. He Toxic Spikes, which I thought was amusing, as I set up my Rocks. He Hydro Pumps me as Red Card procs, and I get Spikes up. Yeah, I expected him to attack that turn, so that's why. So I was like, he has to taunt me, or he just like loses a Pokemon. Or like, I didn't care if he taunted me because I had Sturdy intact and I had my red card, so if he taunted me, oh well, I just attack next turn, and he didn't have a lot of good switch-ins. So that's that. I explained up to that. Back comes Baby Gren, and I'm perfectly fine with just clicking Brave Bird here. Just look at how much chip I've done to his team already. His Baby Gren is at 30%. Baby Gren's at 30. Arrow is dead, and I have a layer of Rocks and a layer of Spikes. I go into normal Greninja because I know I'll outspeed this, and I know I can like Water Shuriken this as he's a Dark type. And he doesn't really have a great switch into Greninja. I think I opt into Dark Pulsing. We're about to find out. As no, I do Water Shuriken because I'm bad. And I'm kind of whatever about it. I think I click Taunt here as he knocks off. And he knocks off my glasses. And I'm going to Dark Pulse as I get Wake Up Slapped into next week. And I do the math, and Wake Up Slap does unfortunately break my my Terrakion sub, or else I'd sub on that. But it's a cool bring for Kangaskhan and things of that nature. And my Greninja does get tossed really early because of this Aloe set. So that's neither here nor there. I go into my Kangaskhan because it's kind of in range for Secret Power, and he doesn't know if I'm carrying Facade. But I'm going to go for a Power Punch and get up a nice boost. He goes into Lele. Showing absolutely no fear in a Scarf Lele, I'm just going to click Secret Power. And I end up catching the Aloe on the switch in. I'm assuming he expected me to go into Cresselia on the Lele, and he wanted to get a nice wish up. Maybe that was his play, or something. I don't know what his play was, but I didn't have a switch in to the Lele, and I didn't think it was going to be a Scarf Lele. So in comes the Kartana. I'm just going to sack Kang. If he tried to SD or something, I killed this thing too. I get to go into my Cress and not really care what he wants to do. I Psychic as he switches into Lele, of course, and I'm going to switch out expecting either Toxic or Taunt coming in. So I was going to go into, or even Substitute or something like that, but I expected him to like do something to try and deal with the Cresselia, because that was his only Cress answer. So in comes the Prim, as I do correctly call the Toxic and not the Taunt, and I was kind of surprised to see Toxic. He Psyshocks me, which proves that he's faster, which I didn't think it wasn't faster. I figured it would be faster than me, but that confirms that it wasn't like no speed, I believe. No, it outspeeds me regardless. What am I saying? But anyway, he Psyshocks me. I was basically sacking, or yeah, I was pretty much sacking or bluffing Scarf, but not like he can do anything about it anyway. In comes Terrakion. Terrakion gets a kill. I just click Edge here, and something kind of dies. Maybe not the Kartana, but if the Kartana's Scarf, then it just lets my Cresselia set up and go for game. So I'm just gonna Edge. It kills the Lele 100%, but of course I missed because Terrakion's a shit Pokemon. I hate this thing. Hate having it. Hate playing against it. I can't mind here because I had a really strong feeling that he wasn't fast enough to break this, or he was gonna Toxic me, and he instead shows off that he's Taunt Toxic and that he's slower than me. So I get a Calm Mind up, and that's huge because now he has no switch in, because I'm going to click Psychic as he Toxics me, and now we're just going to get a lot of residual effects. I don't know what his play was here, but he sacked his Kartana, which is kind of cool. I guess he didn't want to take random chip damage. I guess to let him go into his Zapdos, and now he's going to try and pressure stall me, but little does he know that I am a Crow Cresselia, and I am going to go right to bed. And here's where the game gets long, because my Cress is faster than his Lele, he cannot kill my Cresselia. So all I have to do from here until the rest of the game is just keep clicking rest and not clicking, and I never have to click Sleep Talk. Because if I attack him with Psychic, I run out of Psychics and lose to Pressure. So I need at least 3 Psychics, more or less, give or take. Basically, I need like 3 Psychics or something. Because at +6, it doesn't. I kill the Lele from whatever range it's at, and I just need enough Psychics to sort of get rid of this Zapdos. But anytime I rest, I don't want to click Sleep Talk because that burns a PP. And if I'm sleeping, I get 2 turns where I don't use any moves whatsoever. So this PP stall is heavily in my favor because a lot of my moves are either self-targeting, like Rest and Calm Mind and Sleep Talk, or they're an attack and I just never click them because Sleep Talk doesn't use Psychic PP. So this is just going to continue forever. And I haven't sped it up because I was trying to explain it, but essentially I'm going to win 1-0 with this Cresselia, and I'm just never going to attack this Zapdos, and there's nothing he can do about it. And as long as he keeps damaging me, which he has to, either with Toxic or with T-Bolt, as long as he damages me, I can click rest, and then we're back at square one. And he can't crit me because his moves to hit me are Psychic or Psyshock. I'm assuming like maybe Moonblast or something. I don't know what his move on Lele is. It could be Shadow Ball or something. I don't remember what if he showed it, but this Zapdos cannot touch me because it would need like 4 crits to kill this Cresselia. It would need 4 crits in a row, and it's just not gonna get it. So we're just gonna speed this up now that I've done everything. So huge shout out to Merc for inspiring me with this crest set, and for Dilwar for recommending it in the matchup. I forget if I sleep talk this turn. I don't, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna sleep talk this turn and I get Calm Mind. He taunts and I'm like, fine. I believe he's just given up and decided that the game is over. I saw very early on that I needed to I saw very early on in the matchup that I needed to preserve Psychics, so I preserved a lot of Psychics. I think I even had like 8 or something. You can go and count them if you want. I know I had enough to just win automatically. But meh, it happens. Yeah, so that's gonna be week what is this, 8? Week 8. Next week we play Blake, and interesting thing to note, if we win this week and if we win against Blake and beat Adam, we end the record 6-4, and that guarantees a playoff spot, which is very exciting considering we started 1-3. So I will catch you guys next week. Peace.